G'day everyone, I'm Smokescreen and welcome back to another video. And here we go, we're doing something I've never done before and probably something that probably deserves a face cam, but I've not yet set that up, so that's not happening. But it's been a big day if we're not all aware of what's happened already. There was the PlayStation presentation live stream earlier today while I was at work. So I watched it quickly while I was at work, while I was getting onto my work, but Gran Turismo 7 has a new release date trailer, and what we're going to do is we're going to go through pretty slowly and pretty much just have a look and see what there is to offer. So, a bit different, not something I've done before, but we'll have a go and see if we manage to piece together something decent and watchable. But I will preface this by saying that I'm not really I never really got into Gran Turismo before GT Sport. Sport is the first one that I'd played. That's it. That's the first one that I played. I've never really played Gran Turismo before Sport. So you might see stuff in the video. I don't really know the historical significance in the series because I've only played Sport. I'm just letting you know that now. So, there might be some returning features from older games, but I won't understand the significance of it. That's about the only thing, really, and I can't readily identify a lot of the cars in here. I could probably look them up and tell you what they are, but I'm just doing a live reaction, so we'll see how we go. But I suppose we'll get into it right now. Well, that just looks beautiful, doesn't it? Alright, first off the bat here, Porsche Taycan headlight, lovely. That's probably to be expected because it came into Gran Turismo Sport with a lot of fanfare, so that is expected to stay. Down the bottom, interesting, mix of gameplay and in-game cinematics captured on the PlayStation 5 system, so that's pretty good. PlayStation 5, really nice graphics. It'll be interesting to see exactly what they mean about in-game cinematics. We'll have to just keep an eye on that and see exactly what that means, because that could potentially be a little bit of a disclaimer if we do see some, dynamic weather, for example. Like, is that an in-game cinematic or is that gameplay? It will be interesting, but we will have to keep that in mind as we move through, but let's continue. Never mind, it was not a Porsche Taycan headlight, was it? It was whatever this car is. Is that the new Porsche Vision Gran Turismo? Let's have a quick look as I search on my phone here. Porsche VGT. Yes, beautiful. Beautiful, yeah. Porsche Vision Gran Turismo. Yep, found pictures here, so that's very good. What else have we got here? The 962C, is that what it's called? That Group C Porsche. Excellent. Over here, I'm going to assume that's the Porsche 919 Hybrid. Over here, we saw this in the previous trailer, the Porsche 917K, and then that looks like the 911 RSR GT3. So, nice lineup of Porsche. I'm going to go so far as to say that maybe even this car here might be the cover photo, the cover car for the game, but it looks like heavy Porsche involvement, but that's fine by me. It's good to get this car, new car, this car, a new car. I think we could expect a lot of new cars, to be honest, but that's a nice image there, and the scenery, of course, the sky looks wonderful. We'll move on. These images here, these images here, so like the bleachers there, and this is, I've found out today that it's actually a throwback to previous older Gran Turismo game trailer like clips. So like there's a clip in an early trailer for an old game that has like a line on the edge of the road and then it goes across to bleachers here. So I think that's a really cool thing, paying homage almost to older games. And we will just touch on quickly Trial Mountain. That's confirmed from the other trailer. Really cool to see it in a new light. Oh my goodness. I'm here till Thursday, so strap yourselves in. But all jokes aside, it's really cool. Look at the way the light is displaced by all these sort of poles holding up the big roof. I think that's really cool, and if we can see some of that in the gameplay, that's absolutely fantastic. That will be a real treat. However, I do realise that, but I guess we'll move on. The fog, look at the fog, that's awesome. I would love to race with fog, that'd be awesome. But anyway, interesting, the bird flies away. I think that will also be really cool if we can have some sort of life in the scene. I think that's something Gran Turismo Sport doesn't have. I feel like a lot of some of the tracks are quite, they're just static. It feels like you're just sitting in a static environment, and to some extent you are, basically, but I think that's really cool to show the bird flying. I don't know whether I'm reading into it too much, but if we can have some sort of birds flying around the track, some sort of wildlife in the racing as the weather changes or whatever, I think that would be really cool. And I will just say quickly, how awesome does the details in these lights look? That's so cool. Moving on. Alright, we're gonna have to talk about it. The Castrol Supra. I don't really know the exact historical significance of this car, but I know that there is a lot of, there's a lot of, I'm not going to say fanboy, there's a lot of, excitement for this car. Everyone talks about it. There's loads of Castrol liveries for the GR Supra racing concept in GT Sport, so it's interesting to see where that's come from, and we finally actually have the original Castrol Supra in the game. I will obviously have to do my research on this car to sort of get myself up to speed, but I think that's just really cool that that's there. That's a cool shot, and so is this. I did see this quickly at work, like that. That there, that's desktop wallpaper material. That's awesome. The way all the crystals come together like that. That's so cool. Oh, what a cool shot. So, obviously, that's an older Supra there. A more wide-angle shot. Oh, look at that. We've got changing weather. Obviously, that's a stylized change. That's probably a scape photo, which is cool. I think scapes were confirmed in the other trailer, so I think that's obviously just showing off some of the scapes we've got to offer. So you've got the desert, and then this snow scene. Have a look at the snowflakes. They're moving around. If we can get scape photos where we've got like snowflakes moving around, so each photo is slightly different, if we can have like dynamic scape locations, that would be awesome to change sort of the reflections on the car, because we can see here the way the ground reflects in the paint here. So we'll play it to the, it's sort of hard to make out whether the snowflakes reflect in the car, but that's your Porsche VGT. I will be very, very surprised if we actually end up getting this car in Gran Turismo Sport before the release of Gran Turismo 7, because I'm pretty sure this car was confirmed to be coming into Sport, but we haven't seen it yet, and it's obviously featuring very heavily in this trailer, so maybe it is going to be like a hallmark car of Gran Turismo 7. Another change in scenery, we've got the Rocky Mountains. Well, I don't know if that's the Rocky Mountains, but some form of Rocky Mountains. I think this is in-game footage, because this rock here is, look at that. Of course, I've got a Super GT video to watch next. Very good. But anyway, this rock doesn't really appear to be rendered that well. I don't know if, seems to be pretty low resolution, but obviously, with the focus on the car, not many people are going to notice that in a scape photo. Another one that really looks like, dare I say, Trial Mountain? I've got no idea, because I don't really know the scenery around the old tracks, because I never played the old games. But again, really cool to see. City, awesome. I love this kind of scenery. I love cityscapes and skyscapes, so that's a really exciting image to me. Inside, some kind of pit garage. Yep, nice. GR86, no surprise. Nice to see that car return. However, I don't know why they used the back end. The front end shot of this car would have been a lot more beautiful. Can you tell I'm not a fan of the back end of the car? Anyway. Right, what have we got here? Lamborghini VGT, Jaguar VGT, Mercedes VGT. I don't know what that is. The brake lights look distinctly Aston Martin, dare I say, a little bit Aston Martin, but I don't know whether that is the Porsche, because I don't quite remember what the back of the Porsche looked like. Did we get it in this Scape sort of showcase here? No, it did. No, it didn't quite get round to the back. It just showed the two sides and the front. Yeah, not sure what that car is, sorry. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm going to go with Aston Martin. The brake lights remind me a lot of the Vulcan, but that's obviously Jaguar, obviously Lamborghini, and I know that's the Mercedes VGT. So that's a new car, by the way, new car. We've got those two in Sport, and if that's the Aston Martin, we have that in Sport as well. Oh, hello. Now, Mercedes SLK GTR or CLK GTR. That will be interesting to see. Let me just look that up really quickly. CLK GTR. Yeah, CLK GTR. Awesome looking car that. I recently read in Motor Magazine a review or a comparison with the Mercedes, this car, the CLK GTR, McLaren F1, and another car was on the cover, I don't quite remember, but I love the look of this car. That's awesome. And it's up against a Porsche, so another Group C perhaps, Group C kind of car, so they might shoehorn that into Group 1, which is what they've done with the rest of the Group Cs. But that's really cool. Awesome car that makes me excited, that car. That's, yeah, really good. Ferrari interior. I won't be able to, I'm not going to be able to identify that car, sorry, but the interior shots look really nice. So does that. Alright, so now we're getting into some of the stuff that I'm not quite going to understand the significance of, but we did see in the previous trailer that a Gran Turismo 4 style main menu is going to return, because I think that was, I think that was very heavily wanted. But I think we're seeing a lot more of what the main menu might actually look like. Maybe they're taking a bit of a three-dimensional approach. I mean, it kind of looks like they are. But we do have to remember at the start, mix of in-game footage and cinematics. Maybe this is a cinematic shot for the trailer. We don't know, but if this is some sort of introductory animation for the main menu where we can actually see all these locations, that's pretty cool. I'll be happy to see that. Like, is this going to be the main menu? That will be really good. It's cool how they've actually, like, made and stylized and sort of placed significant, landmarks to mark the different locations here. So, I mean, what's that? Is that a, looks like a car dealership to me. So, is that used car dealership? This looks like online, because there's people. Museum. Connectivity services. That looks like the FIA Manufacturer Series trophy. I don't remember what the exact name of the trophy is. It's a artwork continuity of something. But yeah, inside like a Coliseum kind of thing. That's probably where your FIA competition's gonna be. Or is that it? Is that the museum there? Not quite sure. Garage, cafe, airport. Not quite sure how that integrates with the game. Maybe you go there and you can fly around the world to your tracks. That maybe makes sense. Mission challenges, escape locations, search. So maybe that's your discover. Apologies if you can hear my neighbours absolutely clattering stuff on the floor, by the way. And then, I just forget the name. Mission challenges and something else. forget it. Moving on. Oh, the dynamic weather change too. That's really cool. Awesome. Livery editor. That's nice. That will be good for a lot of the livery enthusiasts. Not me. I'm not really too interested in this portion of it. I think I've made literally one livery, and it was like an all black car. Cool. New. I'm going to say that might be the new base livery for the Lamborghini GT3. So we know in Gran Turismo Sport, the famous green, the lime green Lamborghini. I think maybe here in Gran Turismo 7, we'll see this sort of blue one. I think that will be cool to get an update on the base livery for a lot of the GT cars, because we've obviously seen a lot of those base liveries in all of the live events and such. Porsche 911, lovely. Porsche 911 again, this is Trial Mountain, as you can see. I can't quite make out this car here, but that's the Porsche, and then there's a car just here in front of it, don't know what it is. And we can hear that Lamborghini, the sound it makes. I'll just go past and I won't talk over it so you can hear the whole thing. Cool. I'll just see if we can get a better shot. There's a car behind this Porsche. Looks like another Porsche, to be fair, and then there's another car there. You can't make that out. That's impossible. Scape locations. Cool. That will be really good. I don't mind a bit of the scape action. So if we can get some new locations in here, in GT7, that'll be really cool. Like, we've got New Zealand in here. I'm not sure whether we've got New Zealand in Gran Turismo Sport, but yeah, cool as always. New locations will always be cool. I reckon this scape will be good for photos, because I'm probably going to go so far as to say that this is an actual captured photo from real life. So this, the bull here, is it a bull? I don't know. That and the house on wheels, for lack of a better word, for lack of knowing the correct term, that will look hyper realistic, like really, really realistic. So I think that will highlight very well how realistic the cars in the game can look compared to actual real life photos. But moving on. Oh, I was just going to say really quickly, we've got that image in Gran Turismo Sport. There's one similar to that. Yeah, same sort of layout here. I mean, obviously all this interface can be expected to change. You might remember the change from GT Sport Beta and the final version. A lot of the interface changed, the buttons and the way it looks. So, you know, I'm not going to say that this is the final version, but it's very similar to how GT Sport does scapes. I mean, I'm pretty sure these controls down the bottom are exactly the same. But yeah, as you can see there, another car, the original Mazda MX-5, the Unos Roadster. That's a really cool scape as well. The light is reflecting off the car nicely. So that looks like an official scape photo to me. Is it blacked out for a second? Yeah. So that looks good. That looks really good. So similar to GT Sport. GT Sport scapes look very good as well. Yeah, just more scapes. GR Supra RZ19. So that's a road car with a rear wing on it. We don't get that in Gran Turismo Sport. So we'll see if there's anything coming up about that exactly. But I initially looked at that and thought, is that the Group 4? But no, it's the road car, as you can see, with the rear wing. Very cool. Yeah, nice. Similar to GT Sport. Personally would have focused around the Toyota badge to clear up and sort of focus on the rear of the car a bit better, because it looks like it's focused like around here. Needs to be focused here, because the part that you're mainly looking at is blurry, and I don't like that. Anyway, okay, I don't really understand the significance of this here. I think that's obviously one of the locations we saw on the map back here. Yeah, as you can see down the bottom, that's obviously one of the locations. We saw the people like this introduced in the previous trailer. I don't know how I feel about that. I think it's a bit weird how we've got like an actual face of someone telling us. It seems very Gran Turismo, doesn't it? I think that kind of thing, but I don't know. I think maybe these annotations come up when you press one of the locations on the map here. So I'm assuming it probably happens the first time and then it gives you an option to not show again, which is similar to what they do in GT Sport. Moving on. More cars. So X&R Gear Roadster, we have that. We don't have this. So that's cool. 356 1500 GS Carrera. Do we have it? Is this the hardtop version of the little convertible one we have in GT Sport? Maybe it is. Pretty cool. Shelby, we have that. Di Tommaso Magster, we don't have that one here. And there's your Supra. So that's the Castrol Supra we saw in the back of the truck. I'm definitely gonna have to do my research on this car because a lot of people are freaking out about this, and I'm not, because I don't understand the significance, and I think I'd like to. What else are we looking at up here? Collection Japanese sports cars. So maybe this back here. Maybe this back here is sort of your brand central equivalent. Again, that's just more speculation. We've got the 2006 Ford GT here, and, you know, obviously I'm looking at the credits here, quite expensive. I mean, I'm pretty sure this Shelby is 350,000 credits in Gran Turismo Sport. This is 1.5 million credits, the convertible one. I don't know how much this is. And GT500 is that Group 2 category. They're 800,000, and I'm looking at 91.4 million. So I'm assuming this might be a Japanese currency kind of credit system here. But what else have we got up the top? Drivetrain, power, weight, SC, supercharged. I don't know the term, but like supercharged, turbocharged, naturally aspirated. I'm not quite sure what that is actually, what that label is called, but yeah, that's that. Performance points, so we've got a performance point system back. I was aware of this from GT6 when I played it a tiny bit. I've played it like really casually as a kid. That's all I've got, and I remember performance points. I think that's good because we do see some balance of performance issues in Gran Turismo Sport, how we've got a whole category called Group 3 with a load of different cars, and they're not quite balanced. Like, they're almost, and most of them are good. In fact, Group 3 is probably alright. Group 4 is probably more highlights the issue. But I think it'll be good to get a performance point system back so you can see exactly what kind of performance your car has to offer. I think that's cool. Daily workout, we have that. Experience, we have that. Hopefully it'll be easier to get to level 50, and then the time. So that's a cool little screen there. Oh, more cars. Yep, freaking out. More cars. Alright, what have we got here? Aston Martin DB5. Awesome. Is that an original Willys Jeep? That's awesome as well. So they're two new cars. I'm going to assume any car we see in the trailer is going to be in the game. I'm not sure whether that's a safe assumption to make. Couple of cars under tarps here, so I'm not going to be able to identify that. And then we've got this really old car, and I think it comes up in the next shot, but I am, by absolutely zero stretch of the imagination, going to be able to identify that. Alfa Romeo, a really old Alfa Romeo. Now, despite me not knowing exactly what model car this is, I absolutely love cars from this era. I recently went through one of my dad's friends' garage, and he's got like loads of these cars. Not this particular car, but cars from this era, like 30s, 40s kind of cars in a garage, and I was just like in awe. It was so cool. And to be able to have a car from this era, even just one, I think that really pays great homage to, you know, the history of the car, basically, because obviously, you know, it just shows the progression from where we've come from to where we are now. So Nissan, that's obviously a Nissan GTR. More cars, more cars, more cars, more cars. Different generations of the GTR. The original one, and then you've got ones coming up. I'm not going to tell you which ones they are because I'll probably get it wrong and look like an idiot. But this is obviously a cafe. So I think, you know, I'm going to have to really get into this game when it does release to work out exactly how all this integrates in the game. We've got cars over here. I don't know. Oh, I don't know what that car is. I don't know what that car is. I don't know what that car is. But they look to me from this distance like European cars from the 50s and 60s kind of era. But again, sort of in line with the old. In line with, I have similar thoughts about these cars as I do with the Alfa Romeo we saw previously. Really cool again. And we can see a bit of inside the cafe as well. That's important to show. I think it's cool. We've got this, looks like a menu, but it's got a car on it. Don't know what car that is, but yeah. Again, interesting. More cars here. Mazda RX-7, Mitsubishi Lancer. I don't know what that car is. I don't know what these cars are, sorry. But that's obviously Nürburgring as well. Oh, tracks. Alright, we've got tracks down here. So, High Speed Ring. That's an original Gran Turismo circuit from ages ago. We haven't seen it for a while. Mazda Demio confirmed. Awesome. Broadbean Raceway, we have that. They could have not included that, but whatever. Mount Panorama, I'm happy about that. That deserves to be there. Tsukuba, we have that. Suzuka, we have Kyoto, Tokyo, Fuji, Autopolis. So, actually, it's obviously showing the circuits in Asia Oceania because that's what's selected. Wonder if we can get a sneaky frame. The cursor is moving right as we come onto this, come onto this clip. I almost wish there's like one frame where we've got the names of the tracks from the Europe category. I'll try it one more time. Nah, I don't think we can get it, but it'll be really interesting to see which tracks are included. I'd probably like to see all of the tracks in Gran Turismo Sport in the game on release. Yeah, just like we saw before, so Asia Oceania. I think it's safe to say that all of the tracks currently in Gran Turismo Sport will be in Gran Turismo 7, and the main sort of showpieces of Gran Turismo 7 will be classic tracks. So yeah, there's High Speed Ring. A lot of people will be happy about that. I never really was interested in this track, and I'm not really because I never played the game, obviously, a while ago. That looks like a Honda Beat, by the way. Yeah, I never played the game back in this era, so I'm not sure whether they've adapted High Speed Ring to suit the modern racing that Gran Turismo 7 has to offer, like they've done with Trial Mountain. They've obviously updated Trial Mountain to have a better feel in a more modern game. And I'm not sure whether they've done the same for High Speed Ring. You know, you can probably work it out for yourself based on the shape of the track displayed down here. Well, that's Broadbean. Yeah, we had a brief frame there. You can probably work it out for yourself. So that's still High Speed Ring. We've got all the scenery, moving water, so that kind of ties into what I was saying earlier with the bird flying. We have some sort of dynamic movement in the environment. Tsukuba, yeah, we see that down there. That's cool. That looks like streaks of tyres. The only reason we would have that is if the surface is wet. Is that a wet weather Tsukuba? Very interesting. I mean, can I recognise some of the cars? It looks like Group 4. Group 4, because that looks like the Peugeot. That looks like the Mustang. That looks like the McLaren. That's a tough one to say. Not quite sure. That's the Citroen GT. Don't know what that is. Jaguar. Not sure what that is. Ferrari. Or is that the Ferrari? I don't know. I'm getting lost in superfluous information here. Subaru WRX. Lamborghini Huracan. Is that a new base livery for the Aston Martin GT3? We've also got the Ford GT race car. Do we have similar... Yeah, I said the Demio. And then we've also got the Group 4 C7 Corvette. 2018 Ford GT. So I'm going to... Group 3. So we've got a new Group 3 car coming. That's really good. Group 3 needs more cars, especially new ones, and we've finally got the Ford GT. Fingers crossed for the McLaren 720S. I'd love to have that car in Group 3. What was that? Just after the Citroen GT. Oh, we're getting very quick. Sardinia Road track, so that's good. That's a good track to have. I wonder if we get windmills as well. Colorado Springs, we've got that track back. That's no real big excitement. Porsche 919 Hybrid, by the way, is also here. WRX Group B is here. What cars can we make out there? That looks like the Subaru. Don't know what that is. Moving on. That's wet weather Le Mans. That is so good. I'm happy with that. And if we can tie this into the dynamic weather. So you've obviously got Le Mans. I said Le Mans before as well, didn't I? Don't come at me. Don't come for me for that. Le Mans, we got wet weather Le Mans. If we can have some sort of dynamic weather with a wet surface, that would be really good. And I think this is a bit of a stretch. But imagine if we could get dynamic weather where the race change from wet to dry conditions. That's pretty dynamic and obviously pretty complex to try and introduce. But if that's a possible thing to have, so you could run theoretically a 24-hour race with completely random weather and it could rain at any moment. Imagine the strategy trying to work out which lap to pit for wet or intermediate tyres. Oh, I'm absolutely gushing at the thought of that. That's awesome. Obviously, Jaguar? Looks like the Jaguar VGT. I don't recognise. That's the Alpine. So is that the Hyundai N 2025? Which is kind of strange that this is here. Unless there is a Jaguar Group 1. I've got no idea. Oh, but there's your Porsche. There's your SRT Tomahawk. Bugatti Chiron, or is that the Bugatti VGT technically? It looks like a Chiron, doesn't it? Alright, tuning. We had this a lot in older Gran Turismo games. Again, never played it, so I can't really comment too much. But, obviously we can probably add all this stuff to any particular car and update the performance points. That's my guess. Obviously as well, Toyota 86 confirmed as well. That's the customizing the rear wing that we saw. So we had the Supra, the 2019 road car Supra earlier with the rear wing on it. So that it's obviously been customized to have a rear wing. So that's interesting for people that want to customize their cars. It's not really my thing, but maybe I'll dabble in it a little bit. But yeah. What's that car? Oh, that's a Supra. Yes. I love this generation of Porsche. I would get one of these in real life if I could. Okay, well that's definitely wet weather Tsukuba. We're coming out of turn 4. I think it is technically. This is the turn 5 90-degree left coming up. A lot of cars here. Supra RZ 97. GTR from probably the same era. Lancer from the same era, Mazda RX-7 there, and what are we driving? Another GTR as well, but that's, wipers going, there's water falling, that's wet Tsukuba confirmed. I've just noticed this new graphic down here, 100% with rain. Does that mean... This is interesting actually, you could take a deep dive into this. Does that mean the tyre has 100% of its water displacing properties still active, like no tyre wear? Like, as the tyres wear, will that number decrease, saying it's becoming less efficient in the wet? Or is that chance of rain? That could be chance of rain, which suggests to me that that number doesn't necessarily have to be 100. That number could be 50, and you don't know if it's going to rain. Oh, imagine if it's the latter. I'm excited. Camaro ZL1. This sounds like the Mazda RX Vision, but we're obviously racing another road car here, so maybe there's a road car version. But there's your high-speed ring. Imagine this corner in just the right car. Also, this, obviously, again, I've never raced this circuit, but it looks like it tightens up. It really does tighten up on the exit. That's going to be a really cool corner to try and get right. And then, yeah, we've got this maybe in a really fast road car. This curve might be hard to do flat. And then this sequence is probably where all your time's going to be gained. Just trying to get the line dead right, and especially the exit of this corner. That will be an absolute nightmare of a circuit to try and get a good qualifying time around. Imagine that. Even a good time trial, that's going to be an absolute nightmare. But anyway, more cars up here. Obviously, 911 GT3 RS. I can see there. I can't make out any of these. GTR GT500. That's a brand new car. So that's kind of a similar era to the Castrol Supra. Very cool. Headlights ablaze in the mirror. That's going to be difficult to make that car out. There's more cars here, and if I was an absolute detective super fan, I could probably decipher what those are, but I'm not going to bother. And obviously this car we're in, it looks different. The steering wheel's just low enough on the screen that I can't see a logo in it. Although it might be a custom steering wheel, just looking at that actually. But I think the car we're in is a new car. This car here is a new car. And what's this? That looks like an old Alfa Romeo. So we're getting a load of sort of these GT500 cars apparently. So I think that will bolster up what they probably will end up calling Group 2 in Gran Turismo 7. That will bolster up that a lot, and that will be very cool, because with only 6 Group 2 cars, and really you've got 2 categories of 3 in there because the different cars handle so differently. Group 2 is really, there's not too much substance to Group 2 in Gran Turismo Sport, so it'll be good to see an improvement here. Or what are we on the track with? Okay, I'm sorry. I am going to say that looks like a Mazda 787B. That looks like a Porsche 962C. Are these cars going to be also Group 1? Or are we seeing several categories on the track at the same time? Multi-class. Are we seeing multi-class here? So, again, interesting points. Are these cars going to be Group 1? Or are we seeing multi-class racing here, which will also be really good to have in the game? But yeah, again, this graphic down here, 0%, but we're on the hard tyre now, so that makes sense. If that is a water displacement efficiency kind of graphic to describe what the tyres look like, or describe what the tyres are doing with water on the road, and that's now showing 0 because the hard racing tyres can't displace any water, they just aquaplane. Again, but also it's not raining, so is that also a 0% chance of rain graphic? Interesting. Obviously we're at Trial Mountain here as well. That's your Castrol Supra. That's the Nissan we just saw. Castrol Supra again. GR Yaris. I think that's all just Yaris's. Yaris-I. Yari-I. Oh! Lamborghini VGT. Yeah, there you go. More cool cars, Oh, yeah, we have all these cars already. But that looks like Autopolis. I'm not that excited about Autopolis being here. I don't really enjoy it, but whatever. Ferrari, some kind of Ferrari. The rear winglets, I'll say, they look distinctly FXXK. Oh, we have it written on the bodywork here. So yeah, Ferrari FXXK, confirmed. What are we up against? Some car that I'm never going to be able to identify, or is that just simply another Ferrari? Who knows? Wow, how good. Porsche 917K. Yeah, look at that. Willie's Jeeps. It's got the rope on the front and everything, and the Stig sitting in there. What an interesting car. This is the Gran Turismo that apparently we all knew and loved. You know, just really quirky cars included, just to sort of satiate people's desires to drive these older cars around, and we can actually finally do that in the game. That's cool. I say finally, it's just because Gran Turismo Sport didn't really have many of these quirky kind of cars in. Yeah, Lamborghini. Just want to see this shot here. I don't think there's really too much to show here. Just looks Tokyo Expressway in more sort of JDM cars. Again, more of the same. That engine though, oh man, got me acting up. So that, yeah, wet Tsukuba again. Wet Spa? Not Spa, sorry. Oh my goodness, wet Le Mans. What's this car in here? Because that looks like Group 3. Group 3, Group 3, Group 3, Group 3. That looks like the Supra Group 4, but it's with a load of Group 3s. And that, for me, is probably the strongest bit of evidence we have for multi-class. Is that... I should probably stop moving my mouse and make that go away. No, it's because we're paused, it won't go away. I can't quite make out what the car that is. It might be the Lexus. Yeah. Look at that, we got a release date too. How good's that? How good's that? I'm not going to waffle on too much longer because I think this video has just absolutely blown just how long I thought this might take. So I'm not going to waffle on too much longer because everything I need to say is pretty much already said. But we finally have a release date, so I guess I'm going to have to hook myself up with a PlayStation 5 pretty soon, aren't I? But yeah, that's that. I'm going to end it here pretty quickly. I was really excited to see this trailer, and as I said, I did watch it pretty quickly while I was at work, but now I can actually sit down and pull it apart. I've had a good chance to have a look at it, and yeah, I've just realised that's probably going to be the cover, isn't it? So, Mazda RX Vision appears to be the cover car. Interesting choice, because I would say Porsche was more heavily featured in that trailer, especially with the new VGT, but they've chosen the RX Vision. I think that's completely fine. But anyway, I can end up waffling on for ages. I've got my calendar marked for March 4th. Hopefully I'll be streaming by then, and I'm able to stream this game pretty much the second I get it. But we'll see what the future brings. But that's going to round out this video today, so do hit the like button if you enjoyed, and do subscribe if you'd like to see more videos from me. Do leave a comment as well. Questions, comments, and constructive criticism as always. Very much appreciated. But that's going to be the end of this one today, and that means that is it from me. So once again, I do thank you very much for watching. See you later.